Happy holidays, everyone. There's no real point or purpose to this video. I thought I'd just talk about this year and some things I liked or disliked about it. This year has been more intensive than last year, mostly because previous years the workload was lessened due to the virus, but everyone's kind of over that now. A few unexpected projects cropped up. I'm very happy to work on them, but it's left me rather drained when it comes to hobbies like streaming or video making. Throw some fantasy novels in there like The City of Dusk and Serpent Gates, and punctuate it with some real-life social obligations that make me hashtag not a real gamer anymore. Although I suspect that ship sailed over a decade ago, to be honest. So this year in gaming, it's safe to say that the majority of my time went into the MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. So much so that Twitch had to tell me about it. Getting all the classes maxed out, grinding out the deep dungeons and adventuring forays for the glowiest of weapons, and just hanging out with the wife and friends. So it goes without saying that I'll be playing this game off and on for some time. And it's also safe to say that my game of the year has to be Elden Ring. Despite only playing 2 playthroughs over the course of a couple weeks, I had the most fun in a video game that I've had in a long time with Elden Ring. Seriously, if you haven't heard me say this yet, because I have a video about it, Elden Ring is the most accessible FromSoft Souls-like to date. Something people don't like to talk about in the Souls series is the emphasis on RPG elements, and those are especially strong in Elden Ring. If you don't care about player versus player, level brackets, and all you want to do is play the single-player experience, the open world has transformed a small part of the concept of backtracking and leveling up into simply exploring. The magic and NPC summoning systems are the most robust the genre has, to my knowledge, and that's pretty cool. You know all those tools that the get-gooders poo-poo as being easy mode? Yeah, those are a lot of fun. I like them very much. So, is Elden Ring better than previous Souls games? Well, that really depends on what kind of experience you want out of it. I certainly enjoyed what I played of it, but there's an argument to be made in favor of the more tightly focused dungeon design of the classic Souls games. That argument can actually be found inside of Elden Ring itself, starting as early as Godric's Castle, as well as other legacy dungeons throughout the game world. The open world makes them stand out as amazingly curated experiences that you simply couldn't have in the open world. The older games still had overpowered things like these systems. They were just more niche and less accessible. Assuming you knew where everything was, which, typically we use guides these days, but these games are really only hard as you make them. My point mostly is that a general non-player of Souls-likes, myself, had fun with a Souls-like. And that's my game of the year. Good job, FromSoft. Now, Final Fantasy XIV didn't come out this year, so it doesn't count. Its expansion didn't come out this year, so it doesn't count. Now, for a game that did come out this year, Freedom Planet 2, a game I've been waiting for since 2017, that finally came out. Although I don't have any footage available of it right now, so I'll be using trailer footage. I just want to say, it's so nice to have a release that finally didn't disappoint in basically any way. Usually anticipating a game for like 5 years will come with some kind of shortfall or huge disappointment. But no, this game met my expectations and I enjoyed it. For those who don't know, Freedom Planet 1 was basically a love letter to early Sega platformers, chief among them Sonic the Hedgehog. So the general joke is that Freedom Planet is simply better 2D Sonic with more complex combat, which is more or less true. Either way, the story of the first one was cartoon cheese, and the story of this one is cartoon cheese, so it met expectations. It's not a great story, but it doesn't really try to be. It really just tries to be like a 90s Saturday morning cartoon show. Speaking of cheese, the other 2D platformer I played the hell out of this year was Luminous Avenger X2. For those who are unaware, the people behind Mega Man 0, 1 through 4 and ZX created a spiritual successor known as Gunvolt. Gunvolt had 2 endings, and the bad ending leads to Luminous Avenger X, where the rival character to Gunvolt is now avenging Gunvolt, thus the title. The good endings lead into Gunvolt 2 and 3. The first Avenger X was full of high-flying action. X2 slows things down a lot. I'd call it more balanced and more fleshed out as a game. That said, the story of X2 is just nonsense. I didn't imagine much from a Mega Man clone, mind you, but X1's was a far better story than X2's. The thing to know about X2, however, is the entire game was actually released between Gunvolt 2 and 3 as a filler game. I had a lot of fun playing that filler game. And those are just the new games, right? If I had started to describe replays, we'd be here all day. Hate to say it though, that's how out of touch I am with the current year of gaming. Speaking of being out of touch, the Game Awards happened, and I didn't watch them. There were a handful of early access games I'm excited to play when they actually do get released, but I can't recommend any of them as quote-unquote game of the year because they were in early access, and I rarely, if ever, buy them. I did buy one early access game this year. It was called 30XX. It is the sequel to 20XX, which I played a lot of and I've enjoyed. So knowing that, I wanted to support the developer. Most of the time, when you hear someone say that they are going to support the developer by purchasing something, they are full of crap. I can tell you that because the vast majority of developers do not get paid based on sales. The developers were already paid to make the product, usually up front, or paid in salary. They don't get paid more or less if the game does well. No. We're talking about indie games. So in the indie sphere, when it's just one person or like a team of 3 people and the publisher is non-existent, well, that's when you know buying the game supports the individual. And that's what I did for 30XX. But there's a whole mess of games I'm waiting for, including Darktide. But while Darktide has officially been released, they need to fix up those bugs before I'm going to purchase it. But yeah, if this hasn't been adequately conveyed, I highly recommend Elden Ring. Love the game. There are a lot of other games I'd like to sit down and talk about, and I probably will soon. But number one, none of them came out this year, so they aren't mentioned in this video. And all of the replays, well, we're going to be streaming a few of those. So keep an eye out on Twitch TV/Zachron. I'm going to be putting a few up here on YouTube as well, with the faded thumbnails, so they're obvious to look at which ones are live streams and which ones aren't. Oh, and expect a gigantic Final Fantasy XIV video coming very soon. As in I look over at the other monitor, the video editor's open, and I have all the footage recorded. I just need to snip it together properly. So, either way, happy holidays. Y'all have a good one. Have a good rest of the year, and I will see you all next time. You know the old saying? Do what you love, and you'll work super hard without a sense of boundaries, and you'll take everything really seriously. Oh, I mean, you'll never work a day in your life. Sorry. It was the idealistic wrong version. Jeez, I saw that horse. Look at that horse. What's happening here? This is Skyrim. Amazing. I had no idea.
I keep some paper books in here. Antique gaming magazines, too. I'm currently reading one from 2037. The year when the Star Citizen beta came out.
Look at that. Wow. Starfield just gave us 8 seconds of footage. Wow. Let me just, yeah. There we go. Mind Flayer. Fuck, it's a beholder. Okay. It's a beholder. That was the meme, is every day at Activision Blizzard. The sword that kills you, yes. Exactly. Yep. And that's why we saved it here. They have high security here. But we need to steal everything. We will drop all our trash. What's this? Datapad of a game developer. Oh no. Persuade skill increased to 10. Let's see. 350 anniversary release of the our RPG Rim Sky. Let's quick save and then die a horrible death. All right. Let me see here. Fuck. This cave. I just got shot out of that hole. It was amazing. It put me right next to the thing I needed to grab. That was hilarious. What the fuck? Okay. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and will absolutely not stop ever until you have been lolly-hoed.
Oh, jeez.
You see, the dwarves go rally-ho, and because of the Japanese L&R thing, it becomes lolly-ho. Damn it! Fuck. Good. There are more of you. I think we're clear. I think we're clear. Mathematical atomizer. I love it. It's Class B. Looks great. How much is it? 2 million. I can't afford that shit. Ah, I know that motion very well. Very familiar with that. Okay. You! I come for you, lizard man! Hello, sir. Where'd you go? Oh, that was funny. That was comedy right there. Ah, here we go. Okay. So we can go from the mystery sausage to the peacock pie. Excellent. Very good. We'll have that and get going. So
If I don't know the answer, then go ask Mala. She's a funky little broad that looks like a koala.
you take your thumb and you put it on the Alt button. Then you reach with your index finger over to F4.